जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ
एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন. कृपया ध्यान दियो.
Well, the IPL's returned to Jaipur after 4 years, but looks like the Rajasthan team never left because they were so comfortable there. They've contained the team for 154. That's what they've managed, led by Ashwin. 4 overs. He's got 2 wickets for 23. Welcome back to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher. I have Shaun Pollock and Michael Vaughan with me. Welcome, gentlemen. Firstly, no one's got the power play prediction right. So, well, no applause there.
Yeah, we were woefully short on that one.
That was close.
Yeah.
Not really close.
Well, what did you go?
177.
No, you were woefully out of the team.
Well, if they'd played properly, they would have got 177. It was just a no-brainer. But I think we sort of worked out after a while there with that surface that it wasn't quite as nice as we thought it might be. A lot of the back of the length ones were just skidding a little bit low and they were battling to get going. I actually think that, as we mentioned earlier, the partnership up front allowed them to go well because they didn't lose any wickets. Because look at everyone that's come in. There's no one who's really been able to dictate terms. Maybe Pura and his 29 of 20. But everyone else who came in kind of struggled to get their timing going.
Michael, that opening partnership, 82 runs is what they got. We spoke about it in the comm box as well. We thought they were going well, but they could never really kick off from there because there was, both of them at one point were like a 37 from 38, a 36 from 37, but they couldn't really kick off. They would have liked one of them to get the big knock.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a bit of swing at the start, so it's not easy when the ball's swinging around. And as Polly said, the ball just kind of died in the surface. So I don't think it's a great batting wicket. I think this score could be quite competitive. There's the partnership that you were talking about. On this kind of wicket, you need a KL or a Mares to go all the way. For one of those two to go to the 18th and then you get 2 or 3 cameos, and you might have got to your 177, Polly. But I think it's the kind of pitch that you almost... And we talked pre-match about in the modern era of T20 cricket, you've got to go early and you've got to be aggressive. Well, this kind of pitch is almost a throwback to what T20 cricket used to be, where you give yourself a few balls. And I think you probably buy yourself a bit of time by doing so to get used to the conditions. Then once both KL and Mares got used to the conditions, they started to hit the boundaries and started to flourish a little bit better. So Rajasthan, without any question, will try and attack the first 6. But if I was to offer them any advice, I'd give them just a few balls to get used to these pitches, these conditions, because it certainly is completely different to what they've been batting on over the last few games.
I also don't know why he wanted to kick Myers out and put the cock in. I mean, look what he's done. Look at the performance he's put on. You know, you should show a bit more loyalty.
I hope Quinton's good at mixing drinks.
But, just to understand, like you said, it took them time to get in. But don't you think they should have kept that going a little bit? Because, again, the 2 batsmen who came after that, they both struggled because Badoni and Huda came in and they left before they could do anything.
I think the intent would have still been there to try and go. I just think they found it difficult. I mean, it was also a change of game plan. Myers tends to stand and deliver from there. We saw him giving himself a lot of room because he kind of felt like he couldn't get underneath it or couldn't free up the scoring option. So I think all in all, just a difficult surface. You never know until you've batted on it, but it did look like it wasn't that easy. And for those guys to be tied down, even after getting as many balls as they had, it can't be easy. So it'll be interesting to see, first of all, who plays better second time around. Often, if you have a roll or maybe with the dew, it might skid on a little bit better.
I will say, Polly, though, that you look at the way that Nicholas Pooran came and played. This is a guy in full confidence, playing great. And he made that pitch look like an ordinary, decent pitch. So maybe, look at KL. He's not in great form. You can see that. And he ended up hitting a few nice strokes. But I think it's the kind of pitch that if you're full of confidence and you're believing in yourself and you're on the back of a few scores going into this game, I think you'll be fine. If you're going into playing on this surface and you're a little bit doubting of yourself or not quite as confident as you could be, I'm sure you start looking at the pitch and almost blaming the pitch rather than what you're doing. So I think Pooran is almost like the benchmark. It could be a decent pitch if you're in a real confident state of mind.
They're also pigeonholing people these days, aren't they? I mean, you kind of only let them come at a certain place because that's the place that they... I would have put Perrin straight in. First wicket down, get him in. I mean, he's the one who's been striking it sweet. So I was a little bit surprised by that. But he does look in good touch.
We'll have a look at the bowling card because there was, of course, Ashwin who led it from the front, 4 overs, 23. He got those 2 wickets. Trent bowled. I don't know how he just does it all the time. His 3 overs that he went up in the beginning, he just conceded nothing really there. And then there was Holder who's got that 1 wicket for 38. Yuzvendra Chahal was a bit expensive today because he went around the park. And Sandeep Sharma got that 1 wicket for 32.
Yeah, I mean, a decent bowling performance. You're always going to get 1 or 2 bowlers that travel a bit, but I think someone like Ravi Ashwin, he's just he's like Harry Potter, isn't he? He runs up with that slow, and then he just kind of goes either way, changes his pace, fires the odd one in, floats the 1 or 2 up in the air. He's a wonderful performer. But Trent Boult is what you need in T20 cricket or in any format. You need those kind of players that set the tone. At the start of the innings, whether you're batting or you're bowling, and Trent Boult has been up there in the last 5 to 8 years, has been the best tone setters in Test match cricket, 50 over cricket, and now in T20 cricket. He's just got that ability to move the ball, bowl the right length, changes his angles, goes round the wicket, comes over the wicket, and bowling still at a really good pace as well. So tremendous figure. I think this pitch suits him. He hit that heavy length that we talk about, just hitting the top of the stumps, and it just skidded through on the odd occasions. So it was a good wicket for him to bowl on.
18 dot deliveries that he managed to get, and he would have also liked the captain's tactics this time round, where 3 up front when I'm doing a good job, and then get me out of my last one in the middle. Don't have to do any death bowling.
He'd have been disappointed that he didn't get sent off for the replacement. He had to do some fielding.
No, but you spoke about it skidding, and that's what you spoke about in the comm box as well. Well, Trent Boult will be a little disappointed because he didn't get that wicket he gets in the first over, but his 2 overs went for 2 runs, I think. But he's always so used to getting that wicket in the first over.
Yeah, he does. He often strikes him, but I don't think he'll be upset with his performance today. He'll be happy that he was able to keep it as tight as he was. Interesting how quickly he went around the wicket at that one stage. But he is class. I mean, I was very surprised to see Mumbai let him go.
Rajasthan come out to bat next, and 154, when you have those names, you have a Jos Buttler, you have a Jaiswal, you have a Sanju Samson, you have a Jurel, Rian Parag Hetmeyer. It just goes on and on, that list. Ashwin comes in, Trent Boult comes in so late. That list just never
Padikkal
ends.
at the back end. Substitute, yeah?
Yes, he comes in. But just a little bit on Sanju Samson, if we can go to, because I'm a big fan of Sanju Samson. I like it how he keeps it very calm. He's very, he doesn't show too much. He keeps his emotions under check, and he just gets the job done. Yeah,
he got a great run out as well from behind the stumps. At the back end of the innings, Jos Buttler has been around the England team for so many years, and he's probably as much as a leader in this group as Sanju. Sanju's the captain, but I'm pretty sure Jos will be saying to the side the first 6. Let's win the first 6 really, really well. When you're chasing a relatively, on paper, a lowish total, really good teams see that first 6 as almost like finishing off the game. They'll be thinking, if we can get 60 in the first 6, that's pretty much game done and dusted, and that'll be the mindset of the Rajasthan team. And if it comes down to the skipper, Sanju, he'll continue.
I like it. With your boy coming in, it goes to 60. When Butler's in, we can see Michael already putting those stakes up there.
Yeah, he's already said it's going to be 60 after the first 6, so he's given his nomination.
That is what they'll go for.
Okay. But I think he'll also play it slightly different. I think this kind of surface will be one where he kind of looks to open up the offside rather than trying to go across it with the ball staying down. I don't think we'll see the paddle come out in the first 6 this time round. He's got himself out cheaply. But they've got that potential to almost knock the game on its head in those first 6 overs if they get off to a good start.
So you all think they'll be going for it from the word go? They're not going to try and hold, like you said, this looks like a pitch which probably they need to set their eye in. But you think with Jos Buttler, his eye is always set. Is that what you think?
In old money, many years ago, you would probably play the sensible game and just keep wickets in hand and make sure that you don't lose too many up the top. But this is the modern world. They'll definitely go for it. They'll try and make sure that they come out attacking, aggressive, get some boundaries early, really put Lucknow under pressure. I think Lucknow they'll be disappointed that they've not got the 170, but they'll know with that score, with the ball just keeping a bit low and a little bit of grabbing the surface, and the boundaries are so big, they'll be saying, get Buttler out early, get Sanju in early, get rid of him, and then game's really over. Can Shemron repeat what he did in the last game again? It's very difficult to continue to do that kind of performance. So, with that score, I don't think they're out of the game, but I certainly favour Rajasthan.
Yeah, I know Mark Wood, so it'll be interesting who their replacement. I don't know if we know. Do we know who their replacement is from a bowling perspective?
We don't know who they've subbed in. We don't know that yet. We will soon.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, yeah, I think that's where the first 6 overs will be the question asked. Like, well, how can they keep it quiet? They've got some good guys through the middle. Bishnu, I'm sure, will bowl nasty on this one with the ball skidding on. But it's without Wood there, and I think that power play, the overs 3, 4 and 5, 6 might be interesting.
And it's not just Wood's absence, because Lucknow doesn't like bowling when they're not at home. Their numbers don't really do them justice. They just say, we like to bowl, we are great when we're at home, but when we go away, we don't like it that much. The numbers here tell us that,
They don't say their bowling boots on the plane, do they?
That's a concern as well, right? Because the numbers really don't make the camp feel very confident.
Yeah, I mean, the key in this tournament is adaptability from a bowling perspective and adapting to the conditions. I think Rajasthan did it nicely, particularly Ashwin today. But the Lucknow will have to see what they can possibly do. Knowing the firepower that they're up against, they're going to have to be on point.
But you wouldn't mind, Polly, when you've been in the field and you've seen a pitch, you can see there's just a little bit of a swing. There has been a bit of uneven bounce, big boundaries. So as a bowler, there's not often in T20 cricket as a bowler that you think, oh, I half fancy having a bowl. But I think on that kind of surface, on the ground that they're playing on, any bowler that's really worth their weight is going to be looking forward to having. I wouldn't look forward to having a bowl at Jos Buttler ever. But if you're ever going to look forward to having a bowl at Jos Buttler, it's on this kind of surface.
Well, he fancies his off spinner, so I wouldn't want you to bowl at him either.
Well, there's an Indian star on the rise who, again, is getting added to my long list of people, and that's Jurel, because I think he's been extremely impressive. He doesn't look like he's, not played for very long. It doesn't look like this is his big season. So he's come in, he's been calm again. He said he's learned from the best, that's MS Dhoni. When he met Dhoni, he said, I want to learn from you how to finish games. So he's learning from the best, and he's shown that to us.
Yeah, his little contribution in that last game was important, wasn't he? He walked in, he struck it beautifully. I mean, his technique just looked solid. And it was important. Him and Ashwin, those two little knocks that they put together with Hetmar, the way he was playing was important. So I like the look of what I saw. And he'll be hoping he doesn't get a knock tonight, or they'll be hoping he doesn't get a knock tonight, and that the job's done before him. But I've been impressed.
Apparently Dhoni told Jurel that, Jurel asked him that, I want to learn how to finish games. And he said, don't really bother about it too much, because you fail more than you succeed when it comes to finishing games. And that's a bit surprising, because considering Dhoni's track record, his advice to Jurel was just go out there and don't think too much. That's what he said.
Yeah, Dhoni probably said to him, what you have to do is you generally take it down to the last over where it's requiring 20, and then you get the job done. That's pretty much what MS did for all those years. He used to just knock it around. Right, when's the showcase performance required? Well, I'll just hit a few sixes in the last over. That's generally what MS done. I mean, again, a great mentor to be talking about finishing the game, one of the best and greatest in cricket history of finishing a game off at the end. But unlike Polly, it looks like all these players like Puran, the bat swing's glorious. And I see it in Jarrell as well. He's just got a beautiful bat swing. He makes batting look quite simple, and it certainly isn't.
This is something I've just been very curious to ask, and my producer's given me the loose handle to ask my questions. So I've read a lot of interviews where a lot of cricketers say that golf has helped them a lot in their cricket. You all both love the game as well. Faf has spoken about how golf has helped him with his bat swing and has made his bat swing really good. I just need to understand why the connection.
In the old days, when they used to strike, you almost used to hold your shape, particularly in up front, try and clear the infield, so you keep that elbow up. Now the key is actually to get this left arm out of the way, because the real power comes from here for the low full tosses and the kind of Yorker deliveries. So in golf, I mean, we always used to say how cricket was bad for your golf, because we didn't want to keep elbow up when you're playing golf. Now you get the elbows away and try and really get that whoop through with the wrists. And that's why it kind of teaches them. So a couple of them might go to the driving range and work on a few big hits. But it has got down there, because as a person who used to sometimes go as a pinch hitter and then obviously bat at the back end, you did kind of look to hold your shape initially. But when you're at the back end and the Yorkers were coming in, you kind of lost that technique and just looked for for the bottom hand. So maybe that's what.
So
he's
this is
touching.
more for the shorter format of the game, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I think white ball cricket, T20 cricket has certainly brought on this new technical change. But cricket used to always be a rocking motion. You used to dip into the ball, whereas cricket now is very much a turning, very much a golf swing. You know, if you see a golfer on a tee box and he gets a big backswing and he turns onto the ball, if you see a T20 specialist hitter, he generally stays still, wide stance, gets a big backswing and he turns onto the ball, very similar to golf, and smacks it out the ground. So this era, a cricketer's swing is a lot closer to a golfer's swing. In our era, it was all top hand and staying still and getting this elbow pointing towards where the ball's going to go. I prefer this era, even though I played in the old era. I do like the way
You'd like to go back in
yeah,
time.
because I was just my coach said, "Oh, don't play golf; it's going to ruin your batting." Whereas this era, they don't practice; they play golf all the time, and then they go out and just play for 20 overs. It's a perfect time to be a cricketer.
Who's the England guy who got injured? Was supposed
Johnny
to
Bairstow?
No, the one who did really well in our SA20. The assault and the right hand batter.
Oh, we've got so many.
Anyways, we did an interview in the SA20, and preparation. Oh, I've just been to the golf course this morning. We played 18 holes, and then we came to go and play.
I can continue this because this is something that I love. So I'm going to continue this in the green room. My producer now has said enough of your silly discussions on golf and stuff. I really enjoy it, but need to get back to something which is very important to Cricbuzz. That is our prediction game. None of us got it right in the first inning, so let's again go for take two. At the 6 over point.
He's gone 62. I'll go 49.
Oh, you're 49
So
theory.
you've looked at the data. I'm going to go 54.
Oh, he's come down 6 there. But okay, we'll give it to you.
10%.
49, 54, and I'm going to go with 46. I'm going to go even lower. I think they'll just try
That
and
means
maybe
Butler's
play
out.
them.
He's gone.
Sorry?
That means Butler's gone.
Oh, no, I haven't got, not yet.
No information.
Not yet. There is a DRS that has been taken.
Oh.
So we will, but that's for Yashasvi, not Butler. But I'll still stick to a number which is, not as high as 54. So 54, 49 and 46 is what we have said. We'll find out if any of us three win this because that's all we have time for right now. Don't forget to join us at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೈ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
हैदराबाद को 50 एक्सप्रेस
পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন।
कृपया ध्यान दें